game we can say that it's a game there is nothing to lose for us and there is hell of a lot to win for. So let's go for it.
Gurpreet, obviously the talking point for you, you've had two brilliant performances previously against Qatar. So how are you looking forward to tomorrow's game?
I think it's obviously going to be a challenge. I think the last two games we need to get over with. It's not even in my mind right now. All we are concentrating right now is to arrive tomorrow in the best way possible and make life difficult like we always do to our oppositions and go for the win like we always do.
We'll take a show of hands with order. Yes.
Hello. My question is for Gurpreet. Gurpreet, you have been with the team for a long time. You have made a long journey with that. So how do you see this next match, considering that you have played Qatar a few times before and you have also stopped them once? So how do you see this?
I think it's not going to be any different. Obviously, they are a quality side and they will have their plans as well. But now we are playing them at home and we need to use this advantage and give a good fight. Obviously, like coach said, there is nothing to lose and a lot of things to win, and that is what we want to do, especially at home. Use this opportunity to go for the maximum and hope for the best.
Yeah, next question over here, please.
Hi, sure. My question is to Igor. After a scintillating win against Qatar in the last match, how do you think? Against Kuwait in the last match. Sorry. How do you think a match like Qatar levels things up so that the players doesn't get complacent, so that they remain in their zone, that another big opponent is coming up? How do you think it's going to help the Indian team?
It's a game like any other. That's how they need to accept it. That's how they need to prepare for it, and that's how they need to approach it. You know, no different to any other game. I mean, in one hand, it's very simple. Because we cannot control the audience, we cannot control the crowd, we cannot control the weather. What we can control is our performance on an individual level and as a team. And for us, there is only one thing to do, to give our best tomorrow at 7:30 when against us, you know, throughout 90 minutes. And once the final whistle is gone, then we're going to see what happened, what kind of a result we got.
Next question.
Coach, this is Niladri from Sportstar. I had a question about the approach of shapes of India with injuries. You have tried new shapes with key players injured. Do you think that makes the squad more vulnerable against an opponent like Qatar?
Obviously, injuries doesn't help, no? When you lose a couple of main players, key players, I would say, never mind their age or experience, it's much more difficult for you, because each starting 11 player for us, when we lose him, it's a big loss, because there is purpose and reason why he's the starting 11 player. He's obviously influencing others to be better on the pitch. When you lose them, then you're trying to find someone who will somehow replace that loss. And how good we are at judging who are these, you can find out only after the game. Sometimes we guess well, sometimes not. It's about the coaches, about the monitoring players on the training pitch, their behavior, not only on the pitch, off the pitch also. It's very important how much they are committed, how much hunger they show, what their body language is showing you, what kind of attitude they have, how confident they are. Many, many important things. For you guys who are watching from the side, you know, you think, okay, he's playing well for Mohun Bagan, he's playing way. It works only one way. What I as a coach see in the past few days in regards to these players available, who is the best one to replace the player. And that's it. And I hope I always do the best for India.
Coach, the fitness update on Brandon's elbow injury. Is Brandon fit to start?
Sorry, can you
Is
repeat?
Brandon fit to start tomorrow?
We'll see tonight, obviously, another training session. You don't need to ask about the team, it's always the same. The training pitch is the only place where players can confirm their position in the team. So there is another training session tonight in front of us. We'll see who is fit, who's not, to decide upon starting 11.
Igor, Gurpreet, hi, I'm Dhiman. I work for the Hindustan Times. I have a question for Gurpreet and I have a question for Igor after that. Gurpreet, would you rather take another game where you make 11 saves, the ball hits the crossbar, you don't get out of the penalty box, but you still manage a point 0-0 with Xavi in the audience? Would you take another game like that should it happen tomorrow?
Hopefully, I have less work. That is what my aim is always. Maximum points with the least work possible is a goalkeeper's dream, and I want the players in front of me to enjoy and get on the score sheet, give us the win, because that is much better for me than to make many saves and be on that end. So for a goalkeeper, that's better.
And Igor, between 2019 and now, how have you seen the team progress when you played Qatar in Doha in September 2019 to almost 4 years later? How has the team progressed, or has there been progress at all, or have we stayed stable? What?
We progressed a lot, and we all know that. It's been a process which is behind us, but also there was certain advantage in 2019 prior to the game against Oman and Kuwait, in Qatar, which we played, because we had a nearly 2-month camp prior to that, when we had plenty of time to prepare well, to work on various aspects of the game. And that was the main reason why we came out of such a bad loss against Oman into the second game without Smith Gentry, without Brandon, few more key players, to Qatar soil, and we got the draw. Also, it's not easy, for the players at the opening stages of the World Cup qualifiers when you start at home with a defeat. Undeserved, I would say, defeat, because our performance against Oman was fantastic. And then you go to a different place to play against Asian champion, which was which didn't drop a point that year against anyone, which defeated Japan in the Asian Cup final 3-1, if I remember well, which defeated anyone in a bright way, in a clear way. And you take the point. The only team in Asia who took the point that year from Qatar, we were very proud, obviously, and it was a sign that we are on a good path in regards to our work and our ideas. And now, 4 years later, what we can say, that process of reconstructing the team is finished, but it will never stop. That we have much bigger pool of players, contenders for the national team positions, that we can go with the various options inside the game, but we are still very, very in love with the 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, depending on the opponent, and that we are enjoying our game. You can clearly see that all of our players are very confident when they are with the national team, that they are very committed, and they look different. They look different class.
Coach, good evening. I have a question for both of you. First, I start with you. Just now, Carlos Queiroz also spoke about how the team has transformed quite a lot in the last 4 years. I've heard other coaches also, including from Lebanon and all, saying the same thing. Have you ever felt that there is a feeling that...
Still in India, there is a doubt. But everyone else is confirming.
So I was coming to that. Have you felt that, has there been a case that you have felt that maybe in the squad, in the players, if there is anyone who is getting carried away, and if that is ever the case, how do you keep them grounded? This is not obviously technical, it is about off the pitch.
No, listen, major part of our team are younger boys. And sometimes young people got carried away, but the coach job is to teach them get back on the road. And there are different elements how you do that, But the coach's job is not to eliminate people. I, as a coach, never did that. I never gave up on any of my players. I'm there to make them aware if some things are going wrong, that they are going wrong, to tell them what needs to be changed or done. to make it right and to help them bounce back. You know, and I will use always all elements and instruments available and tools to help my players become better human beings, become better players, so they can influence others inside our environment to help the team. That's the only way this works, you know. If we have people inside our dressing room, inside our environment, who are just thinking and caring about themselves, then we are not a great team. We need everyone there committed and aware that with his presence, he needs to make others better. And that's what we do within Indian national team. That's why we are successful in the past 2 years. That's why these guys are getting praise from everyone now, but they are the same people they were 4 years ago, 5 years ago. You see, it's about approach, commitment, hunger. When we have such positive leaders, our senior players like Gurpreet, Singh, Sandhu, Shamri, they're here with us, who are taking really good care of them individually and showing to everyone else a way of doing things in professional football, then others, all others need to follow that. Simple as that. We have great positive leaders inside the dressing room, and that's really important for the national team.
I just want to ask to Gurpreet, do you have any feedback for the coach? And most importantly, before a Qatar game, especially when there had been a draw, there will be more expectations, there would be nervous energy. How are you going to deal with that?
I think before I answer that, I just want to add on that. I was thinking what the coach is saying, and I think what has been happening and has happened with us is credit to the coach and the staff for creating such a competitive environment in the team, that the scope of you dropping some levels, the consequence of that is big, that you might lose your spot. And that healthy competition which has been in the team with the same kind of brotherhood has helped us a lot to, you know, progress as players, as human beings, and make sure that we have one goal, to make our team, you know, better day by day and year by year. And to your question, I think nervous energy maybe was there 2-3 years ago when we were playing them for the first time, but I think, like I said, that is in the past. What happened was in the past. No one is thinking about that. I'm not thinking about that. All we are thinking about is we played one game against Kuwait, now we are at home. And this is a good opportunity for us to play at home against a good opposition and make the maximum out of it. You know, there is nothing to be scared of. No one is going to play, you know, with 12 people or 13 people. It's 11v11, and whoever gives their best gets the result, you know.
Good afternoon, Coach. You are in a situation where you are coming from a away win, which has not happened in recent past, and against a team which is quite good. So does it put you psychologically in shape ahead of the next match against a big opponent?
No, as I said to our players immediately after Kuwait game in the dressing room, the best thing to go forward is to forget this Kuwait game immediately, as soon as possible. Save your energy from celebrating, being self-confident, overconfident of whatever, or getting into euphoria or something like that. No, forget it. Let's get preparing for the Qatar game. That's the only way forward. So, but we need to mention, the Kuwait game was the most important game in our qualifiers in this group. Away game against direct opponent for the second spot. We are very realistic. We know that Qatar is out of our league. But we also know that this is football, the most beautiful game in the world, which provides opportunities. And this is our opportunity. And as we mentioned, I will repeat again, we have nothing to lose tomorrow. We're going to go out for all of it. We can win everything and nothing to lose. Next question.
Hi, Coach. This is Gaurav from Khel Now. Coach, I have been observing you for the last 2-3 days over your tweets and all your talks, and you have been praising Bhubaneswar. So welcome back to Bhubaneswar again. So if the coach is so happy about it and the energy we can see on your face, will this also act as a help for the players to come out with an outcome which Qatar has not thought of?
We love this place. It's obvious how much we enjoy being here, because such facilities you cannot find anywhere else in Asia. And that's what professional football needs. Good distance from fantastic hotel, to the training pitches, to the stadium, amazing facilities for you guys, for the people we receive here as a host. This is really important, how we present ourselves to foreign teams which are coming here to visit us, you know, and this is really important. And I'm enjoying each second here in Orisha, and every time I have a chance, I give big thanks to Orisha government for providing such wonderful facilities to its citizens, to the youth here in Orisha, and to everyone else, to us as a national team. And I would love, in regards to everything you have in regards to the sports science and all other sports, to spend as much time as possible with national team here, because we have absolutely everything at the perfect level here in Orisha State. Thank you once again.
Next question.
Gurpreet, I am Munal from Ajkal newspaper. Good afternoon, and also all the best for the next tomorrow's match. One thing is that, as coach said that you have nothing to lose. You also said that you have nothing to lose but lots to gain. So as you made them in 4 years back when there was no Sunil, now as Sunil is in your team and as a leader, so do you think that it is an added advantage to you in front of your team, and other players who actually developed in these 4 years actually give you more confidence as you will stand in the goal?
I think having Sunil Chhetri in the team is always a bonus, so there's no doubt about that. And obviously, like you said, in the past 4 years, a lot of players have developed. I've mentioned this before as well, that a lot of players now, we have played a lot of football together, and people have been maturing as well after playing good amount of football, getting good minutes in their legs, and I think all of this will help us reach where we want to go. Obviously it takes time, but we need to take one step at a time. Tomorrow is a great opportunity again in front of us, and as a team we are going to go with the strongest mindset possible and aim for, you know, a win, like I said before.
We'll take two last questions first.
I'm Sushmita from Uttar Pradesh Sangbad newspaper. My question is for Gurpreet. Gurpreet, as one of the senior player, what would be your message to your fellow players for this big match? Because Qatar is World Cup playing country. So what would be your message?
I think my message would be to forget what had happened 4 years ago. It's very important that we move on from that, because we are a different team now. We are a better team, better squad, and I think to go out there with zero fear and give their absolute everything, not feel like that something is saved after 90 minutes. After 90 minutes, everyone should feel like, yeah, I gave everything, you know, regardless of what happens with the result. If we feel after the game that we have given everything that we could have, we would be content, and that is what I would tell my players as well.
Last question.
This is a question for Igor. Also, Gurpreet can chip in if he wants to. Igor, after the game against Qatar, India had two, well, I wouldn't say bad results, but unexpected results in draws against Afghanistan and Bangladesh, especially the high against Qatar, of the game against Qatar, and then you came back to draw against Afghanistan and Bangladesh. Both games you came from behind. Now, would consistency be your lookout between now and March, irrespective of how we play against Qatar, irrespective of the result against Qatar? Would you think that the team is capable of being more consistent in its football, so that these ups and downs, you have a draw against Asian champions and then you have to come back and lose, save points against Bangladesh and Afghanistan, both of who were ranked below you?
I mean, consistency is clear. Performance level, good performance level is clear there, you know, because when you play 11 consecutive games without losing, when you face Kyrgyzstan, Kuwait 3 times, Lebanon 2-3 times, Iraq, and you don't lose matches or keep clean sheets, it's quite evident that you are consistent. I will not go back and mention these tournaments in Thailand and Malaysia, because I have nothing good to say about it. not about my team and my players, but about what happened there. And it's said that my work and work of my boys, our sweat, our commitment and our hunger depends on few poor people who deciding on the certain day to destroy all our work, which has been done for the past few years. With one poor decision or bad decision, because that changes 10 positions in the rankings. Imagine that. And I'm judged on the rankings at the end of the day. But not many people will remember that when the day comes. So, we are in the World Cup qualifiers. You mentioned these games. There was a big difference because that was the beginning of our work. And to come out playing against Oman and Qatar, which was obviously 2 games against very strong opponents with mostly mid-press and counter-attacking football, into a position when you have 2 blocks of players on the edge of the box defending for their lives and looking to counter-attack you, it's totally different way of playing football. And at that time, again I need to mention, several key players were missing who were at that time very important to us. Brendan Fernandes, Borges, Sandesh, who got injured. At that time, after losing 3-4 key players, we were not ready to give more, to do more. Now, as you can see, with so many chances provided to young boys who appeared in last few seasons in ISL, not thinking about what kind of a result at the moment that can give us, risking the results for the sake of the future, we are where we are. We have options. If anyone gets injured, we have players who already have certain experience playing for the national team at the higher level. Having that feeling, what kind of a difference is pace in ISL and pace at the international level? And that's really precious for us, because we cannot get caught anymore if anyone is injured. We have others who will jump in, who understand the process, who understand what it takes playing for the national team at the international level.
I'm afraid that's all we have time for today. Thank you, Coach, and thank you, Gurpreet, for joining us. I'll request both of you to just stand up and pose for some pictures.
Thank you very much.